Welcome to the first episode of Blank Canvas Art Studio, a place to create. You are going to see a whole jumble of supplies and boxes and stuff sitting in my dining room move to about a 200 square foot empty room that I'm going to turn into an art studio. So, a decision to be made. It's a blank canvas right now.
Cool.
It's the first time I will have a dedicated place of my own and space to create primarily acrylic art, although I expect over time I might do some printmaking or some collage or some other things. I started doing printmaking quite a while ago, a couple decades ago, and then I turned my attention to acrylic art and painting about 7 years ago. And so you'll see me primarily doing painting, but we're gonna do a bunch of other stuff in there too. Getting started, it's all about how the heck to set up the space. So right now, it's a big blank room. The walls are empty, and the space itself is really metaphorically a blank canvas too. What do I want to create in here? I want to create a place that I will enjoy coming to, that hopefully other people will join me in. It will have supplies, places to sit, some ambiance, some quirky stuff, some inspirational stuff, things that might help me create and help others that want to join me in the studio create. So a couple things to point out, starting with what's on the floor. Concrete. It is just unfinished concrete, and that's a good thing because paint is going to get on the floor and I don't want to have to be cleaning it. So I feel it is a luxury to have a place where you can just let the paint fly. There is a carpet down though, because it could get chilly in the winter time, and it might be nice to have a little bit of cushion. I know it will, to stand on when I'm in the studio and when other people are with me. So this carpet recently survived a construction project and got a whole bunch of concrete on it. So it was pretty much irreparable from a complete cleaning of the carpet perspective, but that's a great thing to put in an art studio. Some remnants or scraps are basically a carpet that might have seen better days, but now you have it underfoot. And so that's really serendipitous, and I really feel fortunate to have a pretty wide covering carpet here on the floor. Next, you'll see that there is a sink in this space. It's a utility sink. I feel like I maybe skimped a little bit on this one because it's a tad wobbly, and I might have to reinforce that or take some, other steps to make this a little more durable in the studio, but we'll, see as time goes on. I have been moving some things into the space. You'll see some canvases, some work that I'm going to put on the wall from artists and other people that inspire me, and some favorites that I have. Just I either love the colors or I love the texture of what's going on. And there's a lot of canvases that are either blank and ready to go, or older canvases that I might use and actually paint over. So those are always great to have for something you might be experimenting with, and you'll see that that's over in the corner, and I'm gonna get that set up too. I also will have other things coming in, like all the paints and things you saw in some of the entry images here. I have a table in here now from the outdoors that is just a little small table, which gives me a place to sit, much appreciated. And I'm also looking at, do I have enough light in here? I decided when this space was built to put can lighting in as opposed to drop down fluorescent lighting. I just think it's a little easier on the eyes, and I do have a lot of great natural light that will be coming in from these windows. I do have some nice blinds on here so I can decide how much light I want in the space, and it's also a great privacy protection too. I have a custom door on the art studio that I'll talk about probably at some point in the future because there was a lot of artistic decisions made about the door. And I will have storage coming in, whether it be bookshelves or rotating things. I also have the need to have a lot of supplies housed, whether they're paintbrushes, paints themselves, various, things that you might need if you're creating texture. And so I'll need to figure out where I'm going to put those things. I do love books, so it would be great to have some books in here. And it's nice to have books to inspire, but also from an instructional standpoint, when you've got paint on your hands or even with gloves, touching your phone as the reference material or a tablet might give you yet another surface in this somewhat, delicate screen to try to clean with cleaning solutions. So I will be using books at times, and that'll be kind of a nice throwback, but also just, fun to have different ways to consume and look at information. So what do I want this place to be? I want it to be a place that not only people I know or new friends could come, maybe people in the neighborhood, but also to extend this learning and this just joy of creating to a broader community. That's what I'm passionate about. I really feel like this feeds my soul and gives me something to engage in the proximal, close to me neighborhood, but also the global neighborhood that all these various mediums like YouTube provide for all of us. So here I am, I'm giving it a go and looking forward to sharing this journey with you, and also having your input and your comments. If you want to follow, please subscribe, and that way you'll get notified anytime there's a new episode. I would love your input on this opening episode. We have lots of changes and new things we're going to experiment with, including ways to stabilize footage from all the various cameras and things that we'll be using to film Blank Canvas Art Studio. So thank you again for joining. Couldn't be more excited to be starting this and having you come along on this journey with me. See you next time.